Right. Well, just as suspected, lawmakers are now coming forward talking about Big Bill number two. That's code word for reconciliation bill, like what they did earlier this year. The multi-trillion dollar package that they passed and signed into law just a few months ago, on July 4th, actually, was when it was signed into law by the president. And we've known for a while now that more would be coming. Well, guess what? Lawmakers are here now talking about it and officially announcing the next big reconciliation bill. In fact, the president was just recently out talking about and making some remarks around bill number two, the big reconciliation bill, giving some ideas of when and what this thing could include. Okay, we don't know much about it quite yet, and also making some remarks on Social Security and some of the other programs that are out there. So let's talk about that here in this video. We've got a lot to talk about. We are right now within, as well as coming into, a very, very busy and important time of year. And again, I know that I say that practically every single day, but it's true. Usually August through about the first couple months of the year are very, very important, and this year is certainly no exception to the rule. So let's quickly talk about the new bill, what they're talking about here. Bill number two, which, by the way, quick little hint for you, if you didn't catch this in my recent videos as well, this is bill number two that they're talking about now. It's still in its infancy. It is still very, very small. Well, I shouldn't say small. It's more like secretive, if that's kind of the word as of right now. We don't know a ton about it yet, but we do know that this thing is coming, well, before the end of the year. That's not that far away. A lot of people are like, oh, the end of the year is so far away. It's going to be here before you know it, right? There's only 4 months left of the year. It's before we know it, it's going to be 2026. It's nuts. But anyway, in the next probably 2 to 3 months, maybe 3 months tops, we're going to see this next one transpire and probably completely pass, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you this much really quickly as well. Bill number three is coming early next year. There's going to be 3 of these things, multi-trillion dollar packages. We have one done, signed into law a few months ago. Actually, almost 2 months ago now, it was signed into law again on July 4th. You know about that. The OBBB, we talked about that many times and all the provisions within it. And now we have number two. By the way, we don't have a name for number two yet, but I've seen some potential names out there. It's kind of funny. Some of the names that, well, one of the names that I've seen is even bigger, even bigger, beautiful bill. Seriously, that's like a name that I've seen floating around. So could you imagine that, right? Anyway, all right. So anyway, let me point out super fast here some of the remarks that the president recently made around this next bill here, around Social Security, what this all means. And again, we're going to talk about all kinds of information coming up. And I want to point out also an announcement coming out in about 2 weeks. Yeah, about 2 weeks or so. That's also going to be vitally important to watch here going forward. Okay, so the president was out making some remarks on Big Bill number two, reconciliation bill number two, even bigger, beautiful bill number two, right? This one. Okay, so some of the things that he's suggesting is that they're going to have to do some cost cutting, okay? Just like they did for number one, right? Where did they do the cost cutting? Well, they kind of hammered down on Medicaid. They kind of hammered down on food stamps, as well as some other programs. That's one of the ways that they did it, as well as a variety of other places that they had to find the money. Remember, these bills don't just pay for themselves generally. They have to be paid for somehow, right? I mean, here's the deal. This country, we're super good at blowing money. When I say we, I'm talking about the government as a whole. They're super good at blowing and just wasting away taxpayer dollars. And if they don't have it, hey, we'll find it somewhere. We'll get it somewhere somehow, right? Very irresponsible. If any of us, think of it this way. If any of us lived our lives and dealt with our finances the way that the government does, we'd all be bankrupt like 50 times over. It'd be really, really, really bad, right? We can't do it personally, but yet they can. It makes no sense whatsoever, but they do it all the time. Just very interesting, the double standard that we have in this country. But anyway, the president indicated cost cutting will need to take place, but he also reassured that they're going to be doing some cost cutting on other programs, and they would be fulfilling and maintaining his promise of protecting Social Security. Now, I'm not sure if he doesn't know this, but he can't single-handedly himself even touch Social Security whatsoever. And lawmakers, through the reconciliation process, again, you've probably heard me say this multiple times over the last 3 or 4 months or so, as a lot of people have been very worried about this. Lawmakers, through reconciliation bills, cannot, I repeat, cannot touch Social Security whatsoever. It's a rule within reconciliation that they cannot touch Social Security at all. Cannot be touched through reconciliation. So I'm not sure if he knows that or not, but he can't do it. Single-handedly through executive order, can't do it. Through reconciliation, can't do it. So I don't know if it's just basically a way to just, I don't know, to make us, maybe a lot of people don't realize that. I don't know. So it makes it look good, like, oh, he's maintaining his promise. By the way, I'm not turning this into a political video. I'm not here to support or bash anybody in particular or any party. I'm just simply saying these are the facts, and I'm just stating different information out there, okay? Not trying to make anybody sensitive about, saying different things. I'm just saying this is the situation, and these are the facts around this, okay? But anyway, what do they likely plan on doing within this next reconciliation bill? Good question. Well, anything that they weren't able to do in reconciliation bill number 1, or if they were not able to do it as big as they wanted in reconciliation bill number 1, guess what? They're coming back and they're going to do it again in bill number 2. I can guarantee you those will be some of the top issues that they work on and that they're going to be discussing and, drawing attention to in this next bill. Okay, we don't know much about it yet at this point, but it's going to be an interesting one. Okay. By the way, let me point this out. Within reconciliation bills, they can do almost anything. When I say almost, I mean a lot of things. They can do practically anything in a reconciliation bill. Okay. One thing they can't do is touch Social Security, as you just heard me say. They cannot reform it. They can't touch it. They cannot do anything to Social Security, which is why, by the way, I've had a few people reach out with this. Not a ton. A couple times I've seen this comment popping up down below, but I've had a few people reaching out saying, "Hey, are there still taxes on Social Security?" Yes, there are. They said, "Oh, we're going to cut taxes on Social Security. Don't worry, everybody. We're going to totally get rid of Social Security taxes. We're going to no more taxes on Social Security." That's still a thing. Social Security taxes did not go anywhere. They're still very much a thing. Instead, they basically just gave seniors age 65 and over the extra $6,000 deduction, which I've talked about many times before here on the channel. I'm probably not going to get into a ton of detail about it. It's just simply because I've covered it so many times before. But as a concession of no more taxes on Social Security, because they couldn't legally do that, they could not repeal taxation of Social Security benefits within the first reconciliation bill, the OBBB, that was signed into law on July 4th. They legally could not repeal taxation of Social Security benefits within that bill. So instead, they came forward and said, well, we can't repeal taxes because it's a reconciliation bill, and reconciliation rule does not allow us to do that, but rather we will provide a $6,000 deduction for seniors age 65 and over, above and beyond the standard deduction on their tax return for the next 4 years, which, by the way, that is in effect right now in 2025, which, by the way, as well, I want to point this out super fast. No matter when, if you are 65 at all in 2025, in the eyes of the government, you are 65 for the entire year. Why do you care, and why does that matter? Okay, let me clarify this super fast here. Let's just say that your 65th birthday is on December 31st of this year, 2025. Okay, if your birthday is on December 31st, 2025, you're 65 for the entire year in the eyes of the government and on your tax return. So that's awesome, right? That's really cool, because you could still take advantage of that $6,000 deduction if you need it in the first place. But the situation as well is that a lot of people on Social Security may not even need the $6,000 deduction in the first place, because the standard deduction is so incredibly high, over $15,000 this year. A lot of people don't even need that extra $6,000 deduction. But if you do, and if you're 65 or over, you can also take that. Quick side note, disclaimer, nope, this is not tax advice, this is not accounting advice, this is not professional advice, this is not legal advice. I'm not your accountant, I'm not your CPA. Talk to your own person. I don't know your situation, okay? Just have to throw the disclaimer out there. But anyway, so that's what came out of that. And yes, taxation on Social Security is still very much a real thing. It's not going anywhere, okay? So that's one thing. But anyway, we're likely going to see anything that was not done to the capacity that they wanted within Reconciliation Bill number 1, the OBBB, from just a couple months ago. Whatever was not done as big as they wanted it to be will certainly be coming back in Bill number 2. There's going to be a whole bunch of other goodies in there as well, okay? Now, I want to throw this out there, and I really shouldn't even go down this road. I'm just going to say that really fast before I even say anything about this, because I know I'm going to get all kinds of questions and people reaching out and saying, oh, you promised all kinds of things. No, I'm not promising anything. All I'm saying is that the timing of this is interesting. The timing being the end of the year. Fourth quarter is when they're going to do this. Now, the reason that I'm confident about fourth quarter being the time in which they do this is because, well, September, which happens in just a couple days here, it's going to turn over to September. By the way, as I host this live stream right here, right now, it's Wednesday, August 27th. I think it's the 27th today. Wednesday, August 27th. So we've only got a few more days of of August until we get into September, which is Monday, Labor Day, by the way. That is coming up here in just a few days. Nice long 3-day weekend for those of you that are out there in the working world. Hopefully you're not, but if you are, well, there you go. Hopefully you'll get a day off. Anyway, we have that, and they're not going to do it in September. Reason being is the time frame is just too tight. Well, that pushes us into the fourth quarter, October, November, December, right? So timing on this next one is very, very interesting to see when this is coming out for a variety of reasons. Well, obviously we're pushing up against the end of the year, the fourth quarter, holidays, shopping time, and also we're going to be getting some different economic reports coming out during that time as well, showing us the different health and where the economy is currently sitting. And remember, what do we have coming in about a little more than 1 year from right now? You know, the midterm election already. Yes, the midterm election already is coming up in a little more than a year from right now, which is honestly kind of nuts. It feels weird that that's coming up already. But what are we going to be talking about? And what are we going to see everywhere in the headlines? And what are we going to be absolutely inundated with in even just like 6 months? It's not even going to be that long, right? We're going to see this all over the place. And especially 1 year from right now, what are we going to see everywhere? All the political ads that nobody wants to see, right? They're going to be everywhere. All of that bashing each other for months and months that nobody cares about and nobody wants to hear. And then, you know, once like November, whatever the date is, you know, like after the voting is over, the midterm, all those go away, and we're like, oh, thankfully, you don't have to listen to those again for a while. But point being is that what do they do before any type of election? It doesn't matter. Any kind of election. Again, this is not a political statement. It's just a fact. They all bait the hook. They all do the smoke and mirrors. They all things like that, okay? So the timing of these next two reconciliation bills, this one coming here, the fourth quarter of this year, just a couple months out here, we've got the next one on the table. They're already talking about it. In fact, right after the president signed the wait, did I say enough B's? OBBB? Yeah, okay, 3 B's. Shortly after he signed it into law, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, was out teasing the next reconciliation bill like moments after it was signed into law. I don't know if it was the same day, the next day, or within a couple of days. He was out talking about it and teasing the next one already. Well, now, again, we're starting to get more of these official announcements coming out on this thing, okay? But anyway, point being is that the timing of these next two are very interesting because what do they like to do before any type of election? They like to bait the hook. In other words, what do I mean by that? Well, throw out some chum, right? Have you ever gone fishing or something like that, right? When I was a kid, by the way, I used to go fishing with my dad, right? And my brother and whatever. And my dad would throw out like chum. And I'd be like, dude, why are you doing this? He's like, it's chumming them. We're chumming the fish. I'm like, what? Why would you give them free food? And he's like, no. We're luring them in so we can catch them. And as a kid, I was like, this doesn't sound smart. Why would we give them free food that doesn't have a hook on it? Throw a hook on that food and let's catch them when they come and get the free food, right? And he's like, no. Listen up, son. You got to chum them so they come in and then you get them. It's like, oh, okay. So like as a kid, I had no idea, right? I didn't know the whole idea there. But now, you know, being a little older, I'm like, yeah, you bait the hook a little bit, you're right? You throw out some free grub, and then they all come running in, and then you get them, right? So, kind of an interesting situation, but I truly did not understand that as a kid, but interesting, right? By the way, have you ever gone carp fishing? Carp, right? The garbage of the lakes, those garbage fish that just, bottom feeders, right? Have you ever gone fishing for those things? Interesting. I mean, those things are like super fun to catch. If you've ever done it, super, super fun, right? But anyway, we used to chum them with corn, right? So you throw a bunch of corn out in the bottom and it sinks. They come in and start eating those things. Yeah. Anyway, interesting. But those things are pretty interesting fish. Rough fish, garbage. They ruin lakes by like massively. Anyway, totally beside the point here. Anyway, if you ever caught a fish, I'm not a fish, sorry. If you ever caught a carp, stick it down below in the chat. I'd love to see that if you've ever gone fishing for them, but they are like massive fighters. Okay, anyway, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here. So that's kind of what they do here. Before any of these big elections that come in, they chum us. They say, hey, what do you think here? You want a little rebate? You want a little payment? You want a little something, right? And they do that to get our attention so that we maybe think about them when we go to do our voting, things like that. And again, not making political statements whatsoever. I'm just stating facts. This is what they do. We know the details around this, okay? So anyway, that's why I feel like the timing on these next couple of reconciliation bills here are actually pretty interesting, because it's still a little further out from, the midterms, but nonetheless, it's still a very important time, because we're kind of in that striking range where it's like, yeah, they probably want to be on our good side. So they're going to start feeding us all kinds of things that we want to hear, right? That's what they kind of do. Tell them what they want to hear is kind of the strategy in politics, right? Doesn't matter if it's true or false. Doesn't matter if you're going to do it or not. Just tell them what they want to hear, right? That's kind of how it goes. But we're smarter than that. We know better than that. We can see through the smoke and mirrors. We know how this whole thing is played out. All right, so anyway, but it's good. It's nice to know that maybe they will continue to fulfill the president's promise and dedication, which is protect Social Security. And again, I know there's a lot of controversy about that. I see it out there. I see it down below in the comment section. Not here to turn this into a political video whatsoever. I'm just simply saying I get it. Okay, I totally get it. They continue to come back and say, we're going to protect Social Security and we're going to do all these different things. You can't touch it. You can't touch it. That's kind of the problem. In some ways, it's good. In some ways, it's bad. Good ways being is that if they can't touch it, they can't tinker around with it and potentially ruin the program in some huge way. But also at the same time, it's maybe a bad thing, because if they can't touch it, that means they can't come in and protect it and save it from insolvency, which is also a massive issue as well, that we're going to be dealing with in about 7.5 years, give or take a little bit there. As we continue to move closer and closer to that time frame, that's going to continue to compress. In other words, the time frame between now and insolvency, they say 7.5 years, give or take a little. That time frame is going to be compressed significantly as we get closer and closer to potential insolvency. Okay, but anyway, don't worry about that right now. But it certainly is a very interesting thing. Now, let me point out a couple different things that are coming out here just in the next few days in the next handful of days / the next, 2 weeks or so. Number one, I've had a few questions around this. Yes, SSI is getting paid on Friday. Today is Wednesday. SSI beneficiaries, you get paid on Wednesday. Sorry, I said that wrong. I said it again wrong. I apologize. You get paid on Friday, this coming Friday. Today is Wednesday the 27th, right here, right now, August 27th, as I host this live stream. You're getting paid on Friday the 29th as an SSI beneficiary, only SSI beneficiaries. Okay, a few days ago, I was out in a video, I think it was on Sunday, it was over the weekend, and I had a few people reaching out saying, Matt, you've said this so many times over the years, I've never been paid early. And I'm like, you must be living under a rock, because I'm talking about SSI, nobody else, and it is 100% true. When the first of the month lands on a weekend or a holiday, which is the case here for September, Labor Day, it's a holiday, you don't get paid on holidays, right? You know this. You'll get paid early, the day before, or in the case of a weekend, you'll get paid the Friday before. And in this case, it's a holiday, backing up to a weekend. Therefore, you're getting paid 3 full days early. You're getting paid on Friday, this Friday, SSI, only SSI, okay, supplemental security income. So there's no confusion around that. You're getting paid Friday. But again, you already know that. That's no mystery. I mentioned it the other day. Just wanted to point it out quickly. Next, obviously, we have the weekend. Monday, we have Labor Day, okay? September, obviously, very important time. September's big. Next, September 5th, it's a Friday. So it's a week from this Friday. Okay. So it's like, what is it, 9 days from right now or something like that. Okay. Friday the 5th, we're going to be getting the jobs report. Super important report. Again, I know that a lot of you here in this community don't care about that. That's okay. You don't have to care about it. I'm just saying, you don't even have to listen to it. Who cares? Don't listen to it. I'm just saying, it's a massively important report because the last one that we got on August 1st was really bad, was really, really bad. Point being is that we're going to be getting some revisions in this next report here as well, giving us a better glimpse into the actual August data as well as revisions from July as well. We could potentially see numbers go negative. That's going to directly impact what the Federal Reserve does with their next meeting on, what is it, September 17th, I think it is. It's the middle of September. Very important because at the end of the day, they're the dog who wags the tail in regards to interest rates, okay? And if you're sick and tired of paying high interest rates on everything, like I am, 21% or something like that, interest rate on credit cards, yeah, not fun, not having a fun time with that. And it's been way too long, all these years of paying very, very high interest rates, not a fun time, right? So anyway, that'll impact exactly what the Federal Reserve does, and we could potentially see negative jobs numbers in the revisions coming up here on September 5th. When we get August job numbers that come out on that day, massively important, okay? So again, you don't have to care about the report. All I'm saying is that remember this. The reason that I bring that up, and I had a video about it yesterday, okay? Yesterday morning, I had a video about it, talking about it. The reason that we care about this report is not about the jobs. Who cares? Who gives a rip about the jobs? I don't, right? Do you care about the jobs? I mean, obviously, we don't want anybody to lose their job, but sorry, that's how economies work, right? Sometimes that just happens. But my point is, we have to watch these numbers because, in my opinion, as I've said for so many years now, so many of you here in this community, I see it down below all the time, literally daily. When are we getting a stimulus check? Don't tell us anything else other than when we're going to get a stimulus check. I literally see comments like that every day. It's weird, okay? Seriously. Anyway, point being is that I totally get it. A lot of you here in this community want some kind of stimulus, a one-off check, a monthly check, a stipend, a raise to your benefit, who knows what, just some kind of extra money, right? I totally understand that. Point being is that the number one most important report, in my opinion, that predicates the distribution and the approval of any type of money going out in the form of stimulus to anybody is predicated on the jobs numbers. I've said that for years, and I'm standing by that. These are very delayed numbers. They're very delayed numbers. But the point being is that by the time that we see very bad job numbers, it's too late. It's too late. We are charging right into a recession at that point. And what happens in every single recession, every single time? What happens? They print a ton of money, trillions of dollars, or as you go back in history, it's hundreds of billions of dollars because our appetite for money continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger as we continue to move forward in the future. And the next major recession we have, it's going to be trillions of dollars again. Why? We're not going back to hundreds of billions of dollars. What a joke. No way. Our appetite for money continues to get more and more and more. So therefore, the next time it's going to be more and more and more, trillions and trillions of dollars. The reason that I say that is so many of you want stimulus. The jobs reports and these numbers like this show us the big, broad look at the overall economy to give us kind of a little bit of a test. Hey, what's going on? Is the economy strong? Is it not? Is it weak? Is it growing? Is it stagnating? Is it weakening? Is it dropping off a cliff? What's happening, right? And that's what these numbers show, even though that they are delayed. Remember this much as well. What does the government want? What does the government want? Well, they want jobs. Why? Well, it's pretty obvious. It's super easy. Just look at what the government wants. What do they want? They want jobs. Why? When people work, they pay taxes. Who gets tax revenues? The government. How does the government get their money? By taxing the people. So you're telling me more people working means more money for the government. Duh. Exactly. Yes, exactly what it is, right? So think of the government like a person. Does a person want more or less money? They want more money. How do you get more money if you're wearing a t-shirt that says, I am the government? You wear your t-shirt around that says, I am the government, and you get more people to work. More people to work has, the effect of taxation, otherwise known as, if you're playing poker, the rake, right? You play poker long enough at the same table with no players coming in or out, the rake eventually will take all of it. That's what the house cut is, right? Every pot, the rake comes in and takes a cut. Interesting. Interesting how that works. Same situation here. Workers come in, they spend their time, whatever they do, the rake, the government, comes in, takes their cut in taxation, and the more people working means more money for them, more play money for them to blow it on dumb stuff, right? So that's the point. So they want maximum employment. They want a lot of people working, because when you have a lot of people working, businesses are growing, businesses are hiring, people are working, everybody's paying taxes, and the government is happy, right? It's not that hard. Just literally look at what they want, and you can clearly see it. So when we see a major economic contraction or jobs fading, unemployment spiking, businesses laying off, things like that, the government goes into panic mode because they say, uh-oh, this is bad. We're going into a recession, a contraction. People are getting laid off. Unemployment is spiking. People are losing their jobs. That's not good because our income is going down, right? As people get laid off, income for the government goes down. That's not what they want. They want maximum employment for maximum income for them, right? It's kind of like a very self-fulfilling thing. Okay, so anyway, when they see that, they go into panic mode and they say, uh-oh, this is bad, getting bad real fast. Let's print a bunch of money. And that's what they do. Lawmakers come forward and they propose some kind of huge multi-trillion-dollar package or whatever it is, and they give it some cute name, and then they pass it, and they print up a whole bunch of money and they push it out into the economy, and then they lower interest rates, and then what happens? We're back onto the party again. The party gets rip-roaring again after a bit because all that money flows into the economy, businesses are growing, they're hiring, and more people are working, and then their income goes back up. Again, you kind of see that? But anyway, long story short is that every recession, every economic contraction, and again, I've given this as homework before in other videos, every one of these, look it up. Look it up. Seriously. I've said this before over the last, 4, 5, 6 months or so. I've given this homework assignment. You don't have to do it. I don't really care if you do it or not. I'm just simply saying. I've said this as homework before. Look at the last major recessions that we've seen. The last, 3 major recessions we've seen in the last 25 years. All of them were met with stimulus checks. Literally every single one of them. The recession of 2000, 2001, the dot-com bubble that took down everything, the major subprime, mortgage, housing, basically implosion that happened in 2007, 2008, bottomed out in 2009. That was accompanied by stimulus checks as well. Obviously, 2020, the whole closures of everything, the economy getting shut down. Again, massive stimulus then. Next time will be absolutely no different. Same old song and dance. They will just continue to do the same old thing because it works. Because it works. That's why they continue to do it, because it works. And it's the only thing that they know how to do. Okay. But anyway, I got off on a super long rant there. But anyway, point being is that when we get the jobs report, it's not all based off of just one job report, but we could see possibly negative numbers come in with the revisions next Friday when we get that job report that comes out. That's going to be very pivotal and very important to watch going forward. And if it gets really bad in this next reconciliation bill, they could, I'm not promising anything, okay? So for the people that leave comments down below saying, oh, you promised. No, I'm not promising anything. I'm just pointing out different details. If they just so wanted, and if things got pretty bad in this next reconciliation bill, if they wanted to bait the hook, or going back to my analogy that I gave a little earlier, if they wanted to really start chumming the people now, they could throw in a little rebate, or like what Josh Hawley, the Republican senator out of the state of Missouri, introduced about, I don't know when it was, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago now. I'm not sure exactly when it was. It was just not that long ago, within the last month or so. He proposed the $600 rebate checks, okay? The American Worker Rebate Act of 2025. Look it up if you don't believe me. It's out there. Just type it into Google. Not hard to find. American Worker Rebate Act of 2025. That is what it's called. But anyway, he introduced the $600 rebate checks to be distributed to basically 85% of the population, with the money coming in through tariff revenues as basically just a payment back to us, as basically a profit share from the tariffs. Okay, so Who knows? Maybe they do something like that. Again, I'm not promising anything. I'm just throwing out different scenarios that if the economy gets into a bad situation, if they want to start baiting the hook on us a little bit for the midterm elections next year, if they want to do something to get our attention a little bit, if the economy starts, slowing a little bit and they want to juice it before the midterm elections, again, next year, it takes time. If they were to do something like that, well, that'd certainly juice it because that'd be a lot of money flowing back into the economy. And what happens with that money? Well, it just pushes the economy along, right? So, anyway, if you haven't noticed yet, money solves a lot of things. Okay, love it or hate it, doesn't matter. All I'm saying is that that's the solution for virtually everything. When we have major problems on kind of anything right now, the solution is, well, let's just print a bunch of money. Let's just give a bunch of money out. Let's just allocate a bunch of money, right? So that's kind of what they do with all this. Anyway, maybe let's leave it at that for now. Okay, I know that I spent a bunch of time just going off on a rant here, but thought, let's just kind of go down a bunch of different rabbit holes here. Let's just spend some time talking about kind of the main situation that's happening. But by the way, if you're just jumping on right now, if you're just joining right now, we've covered a lot. We've covered a lot so far. A lot of random things. A lot of very random things. But if you're just jumping on right now, basically what's happening is that they are officially and well, I should just say officially. They're officially floating and discussing Big Bill number 2. When I say Big Bill, I'm talking about Reconciliation Bill number 2. Remember, they had the first one just a few months ago. It was signed into law on July 4th. The president's, agenda, whatever you want to call it, the OBBB. But they're talking about Big Bill number 2 coming here in the fourth quarter. And the reason I say fourth quarter is because it's not going to pass in September. I guarantee you that. September is in just a matter of days. They work way too slow to do anything like that. But in the next 2-3 months or so, for sure, the likelihood of this happening is high, not guaranteed, but we'll have to see what's contained within it. And at this point, it's way too early to know what may be contained within it. But the remarks out of the president just recently here, he suggested cost cutting will need to take place, but it's not going to be with Social Security, which we already know because they can't touch Social Security. They're not going to cost cut out of Social Security because they can't. So, good statement. Yeah, because they have to. They can't touch it. That's why. But one more thing I want to throw out super fast, which is when he says cost cutting from other programs, I'm just going to say this. Don't be surprised, okay? You heard it from me first. Don't be surprised if they cut Medicaid and SNAP even further than they already have, okay? I'm just saying. I don't want that to happen. I'm not saying that they should. I'm just saying, don't be shocked. Don't be shocked if SNAP benefits, food stamps, EBT, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, Medicaid get whacked again, okay? I'm not sure what else they would do to it, but, they're going to try to squeeze that lemon a little more. I'm pretty sure about that. I'm just saying, okay? We'll see what they do with it. Maybe they won't. Maybe they won't touch it. Maybe they'll go after some other programs. By the way, did you see my video from last week? It was a live stream, actually. I think it was last week anyway. They're talking about Section 8. Section 8, yes, housing, low-income housing assistance, otherwise known as Section 8 or, the Housing Choice Program, essentially, cutting that, okay? So putting people on basically a 2-year term. Basically, you get to be on the program for 2 years, and they boot you out and say you're done. That's it. Okay, I have a live stream about that from, I don't know, maybe a week ago or so, give or take a few days. But anyway, that's one item that they could possibly do, and one place that they may cut from. I don't think that's going to be a whole lot of money. That's not nearly what they need, but it may be a place to go to maybe extract out a little bit of money. Just be prepared. I would be very much looking at them probably doing some things to Section 8, okay? But anyway, let's just see what they do here. I'll keep you posted. Anyway, let's wrap it up at that for now. I hope this helps you to some degree. Again, there's a lot of things going on right now. Please, if you're new here, subscribe, 100% free, big subscribe button. By the way, I've had a couple of people email me so far. If you want to, this is not required. If you want to, not on this video, but soon down below in the description at the top of the comment section, I'll put the phone number. Usually you see me go like that, right? There's a phone number usually on the screen, or in live streams I go like that. It depends. If it's a video, I go like that. If it's a live stream, I go like that. Okay? Anyway, who cares? But my point being is that on the screen in virtually every video, there's a phone number for free Medicare help. About 4,000 plus of you here in the community have called them. A lot of people, a lot of people are saving a ton of money. I mean, in fact, I just got an email today from, I think it was Ed Fitzgerald, I think it is. I could be saying his last name incorrectly. He said he's from, I think he said, where did he say? It was somewhere in California, San Diego, something like that. San Francisco. No, I don't think it was San Francisco. Anyway, it was maybe one of the sand cities in California. There's a lot of those. Okay. Anyway, so he was from California. Ed Fitzgerald. Again, I think I'm pronouncing his name correctly. He's saving $170 a month because he called and got some free help with his Medicare. Okay. But anyway, my point being is that the phone number is here on the channel. It's in a lot of the videos. It's not here on this one. I'm doing this live stream a little bit differently right now. But anyway, the phone number's on there. After you call them, do a couple things if you want. Leave a comment down below on any video, use the word chapter, tell me how it goes, and I'll give you a shout out in a future video. Or, my new thing, if you want to do this, this would be pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to doing this for some of you. Whoever wants to do this, whip out your phone, okay? Got a phone sitting right here. Got a phone right here. Whip out your phone, hold it like this, and say, hey, my name is Matt. I called chapter, and yeah, after like 15 minutes on the phone, they saved me $170 a month. Thank you so much. Love it. Thanks for helping me save money with chapter. Whatever. I don't know. Whatever. Hold your phone out. Take a little video. I did not make a video. I was just making an example. Just make a little video, 30 seconds or less. Send it to me via email, and I will feature you in an upcoming video. I'll literally put your video into one of my videos and say, here, check it out. This person, whoever sends a video, I'll just put your video within mine, and so everybody else can see it. It's a real deal. But like I said, over 4,000 of you here in the community have called them. A lot of people saving a ton of money. Again, Ed Fitzgerald today sending me an email, $170 a month is what he's saving after a quick phone call. Harold L. saving $79 a month, which is almost $1,000 a year. Ken Johnson sent an email, he left a comment actually about, a month ago or so. He's saving $174 a month, $174 a month. That's over $2,000 a year. Miriam McGee is saving $1,200 a year, $100 a month. What are the other names? There's all kinds of names that have come out. Actually, I just had a couple comments that I posted in the community post today. What were their names? What was her name? Lori McCall. Yes, Lori McCall. Her and her husband are saving like $500 and $600 from calling them. Oh, that's for the entire year, by the way. That's not per month. For the entire year. It's nuts. So many people saving a ton of money. Anyway, you get it. You hear me talk about it in the videos. So a couple different options. If you want a shout out, leave a comment on any video, use the word chapter. I'll give you a shout out in the video, and I'll feature you in a community post like I do virtually every single day. Otherwise, if you want to be featured in a video, whip out your phone after you talk to them, hold out your phone, say, hi, I talked to chapter, and they're saving me all these monies, whatever it is. Tell me the dollar amount, whatever. Don't say anything personal. That's not for anybody in the internet to know, but just you could say, hi, my name is Matt, or whatever your name is. Make a quick little video, and then send it to me. 30 seconds or less, and then I'll feature you in a video. Anyway, it's pretty cool. I'm excited to feature some people. If you don't want to, that's totally fine. Anyway, phone number will be down below in the description or the top of the comment section soon. Otherwise, literally just look at the channel. You'll find the phone number there, or look at any video or any live stream recently. You'll see the phone number on the screen. It's there. It's 100% for free. 70 million people on Medicare should be calling that phone number. Not nearly everybody's going to do it. People are paying way too much. Man, people have been sold some really bad plans. I'm just saying, okay? By the way, this is not my product. I have nothing to sell you. You don't have to buy anything. There's nothing for sale here, okay? I'm not trying to sell anything. I've got nothing to sell you. Look here on the channel all you want. You'll find nothing to buy. I don't have some junk course. I don't have some mastermind. I don't have some product, buy my product. I don't have some masterclass or some free training or some coaching call or some other crap that nobody wants. I have nothing to sell, okay? Literally nothing, which is based on everybody else out there that has all kinds of junk to buy and sell, I don't know. Maybe I'm a fool for not having anything to sell. I should find some crap to sell, right? But I don't. I don't even know what I would sell. Anyway, I don't have anything to sell. I'm just trying to help some people out. So anyway, yeah, my parents are in talks with them. My wife's parents, Corey, her parents are in talks with the chapter people. My dad has like all of his friends and siblings calling chapter because he's like, dude, you got to call them. They're my dad. He is like, he loves this Medicare stuff. It's nuts. In fact, I have a book right here. Which way is up? Here's the cover. This is a book. I'm reading this for like the second, or I think I'm on my second time right now. I'm reading this book. You can see my paperclip. That's the bookmark. Anyway, I'm reading this book right now, and I just talked to my dad yesterday. I was like, hey, when I get done reading this book, you're going to read this book. I said it's all about Medicare. He's super excited about it. By the way, this book was written by Ari Parker, the co-founder of Chapter. Okay, we featured him here on the channel maybe, I don't know, 5 months ago or so. We did a live stream. My wife Corey and I, we hosted a live stream with Ari. It was about a 40-minute or so, give or take a little bit, live stream. He was answering all kinds of questions from those of you here in the community on Chapter and Medicare. Really good stuff. I posted a short yesterday. I posted a short video yesterday featuring Ari as well. So literally I chopped a little clip right out of that live stream and posted that short yesterday. Ari was talking, super knowledgeable, like very, very smart person. I hope that I can be as smart as Ari someday. I don't think I'm there yet. I'm just saying, right? But anyway, he wrote this book right here. It's very thin. Look how thin it is. It's very thin. So anyway, it's not much to it. Very cool analogies. But anyway, I reading his book because it's really good Medicare info. So anyway, not a sales pitch, by the way. No, I'm not trying to sell his book. I don't really care. You actually get it for free on his website. So you can get a digital version for free. I just happen to buy the physical book because I just wanted to have the physical book, right? All right, anyway. Call that number. I look forward to reading or seeing your little videos. Oh, by the way, I forgot to give you my email address. My email address, if you want to, send me a little video, 30-second video, telling me how it goes after you talk to Chapter. Totally free. Just make a little video of yourself talking about it, and I'll feature you in an upcoming video. My email address, blindintro, because I'm blind, and intro@gmail.com. Again, blind intro, like introduction, the shortened version of introduction, intro@gmail.com. Yes, that is really my email address. It was a project that I was working on like 7 years ago with the blind community here on the channel, and that's the email address that I was giving out for that. Blind, BLINDINTRO @gmail.com. That's my email address. Send it there, and I'll feature in an upcoming video. All right, anyway, let's wrap the live stream up there. Hope this helps you. Drop some comments down below. Let me know what else I can do for you. I'm here for you. It's a nuts time right now. And yeah. All right, anyway, enjoy. By the way, if you're still here right now, I'm just going to say this much. You might want to click off now. I'm going to sit here and wrestle around with my phone for a second to try to get this thing to turn off. So you can watch if you want to. It's not going to be very entertaining. I can promise you that much. But I'm just giving you a little warning now. You may want to jump off now if you're here right now. But if you don't want to, that's okay. My phone's going to start talking. It's going to be, kind of weird, but there you go. All right, anyway, please subscribe if you're new here. 100% free. Call the people over at Chapter. Phone number here all over the channel on all the videos, in the live streams. It will be down below in the description and the top of the comment section soon. And I'll see you again later. All right, here we go. Let's push some buttons. How do I do this again? Oh, yeah.
Are you sure you want to stop streaming?
Yep. Cancel. All right, see ya.